Hello everyone, my name is Grayson Milbourne and I'm the Security Intelligence Director at Webroot. Welcome to this week's Threat Vlog. This week I want to talk about phishing. And why? Well, because phishing has been on a rampage recently, and in 2012 we saw a 59% growth in phishing types of attacks. So let's back up a second and first talk about what is phishing. Phishing is a technique used by cybercriminals to trick users into handing over their credentials. This is often done by creating fake web pages that look exactly like the login page for either your bank or maybe your social networking site like Facebook. Hackers will spam email people, and that email will have an attachment or a link in it that convinces you to visit the login site for your bank or social networking site. Now, what happens here is that link will take you to a landing page that looks identical to Facebook's login page. Maybe it'll be an email saying, hey, a friend has just posted a picture of you and we need to confirm that this is an okay picture for to be displayed on Facebook. And so, since this is something that most users are expecting to see, they'll go ahead and click on that link and land on a web page that in many ways is identical to the Facebook landing page, with the caveat that it's actually a hacker's web page and he's collecting your login credentials. Now, we've seen about a 59% growth in phishing attacks in 2012, and these types of attacks don't just target your email. We also see these kind of attacks on SMS messages as well as social networking sites. Now, how impactful is phishing? Well, in 2012, it was estimated that phishing cost about $1.5 billion globally, and that was a 22% increase over the previous year. Webroot research also shows that about 80% of companies experienced some form of web-borne attack in 2012. And when you look at that 80%, the largest portion of that pie was 55%, and that was phishing attacks. Another thing that we've realized is that phishing sites have become much more dynamic, where last year phishing sites on average were online for about 15 hours, and this year we're seeing that that's decreased down below 12 hours to about 11.7 hours. Now, what does this mean? This means that phishing sites are very difficult to discover, and the traditional approach of crawling the web to discover these sites to publish a blacklist is too slow and ineffective at protecting users from these very dynamic types of sites. So, I'm happy to say that in Webroot's 2014 product launch, coming out next week, we have a brand new phishing shield that is very unique in its way in which it identifies new phishing pages. Similar to what other Webroot technology that really leverages what our users are encountering, this new phishing shield takes data from our users in real time to identify whether or not they've landed on a phishing page. And this is really, really important because, as I mentioned, these sites are not online for very long, making it very difficult to publish a blacklist and have that as an effective measure to prevent users from hitting these sites. So how do we do it? Well, we look at landing pages when you visit them. So say you've received a phishing email and you are gullible and you clicked on that link and you landed on what looked to be the PayPal login site that you're familiar with. But it's not the actual PayPal landing site, it's a site by a hacker. So we see that new URL and we see that it's requesting the login page, and we gather the information about that website and we send it off into our cloud where we can perform real-time analysis that takes under 1 second, is over 99% effective, and can respond back to whether or not that site's a phishing site. So that's really great news when it comes to protecting users against phishing, and Webroot's excited to have added this fantastic new technology into our product release coming out next week. Alright, well that wraps it up for me this week. Look forward to talking to you all again. Grayson Milbourne signing out.